Put it in your mouth, say Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, and chew. That's how you eat. But say Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim and put it in your mouth. Chew and swallow. Don't forget to swallow. That's how you eat holy food. No, how do you eat? I don't understand the question. How do you eat blessed food? You mean how is the food blessed and we're eating it? Maybe. See, physically, the food that you prepare, if you are putting it in an environment where there's so much dirt and bacteria and germs everywhere, it's going to get inside, correct? It will still look kind of good, but the bacteria, everything is inside of that. And when you eat it, you're going to get sick. Now, the food that we're putting out here, that we're preparing, especially at the Dergah is not an empty place, or food that you're preparing for holy association. For example, food that you're preparing for Maulid, food that you're preparing for zikr, food that you're preparing for your akika, for adak, for things like that. Now, the food becomes blessed because you're preparing for a blessed occasion. That food, now when you eat, that food is going to make tasbih. It's going to make a zikr of you, asking Allah to forgive you. And it's going to clean all your body inside, especially in these days. The food that we're eating, mostly, there's some sort of poison inside, wrong things that is inside. Physically, we cannot do too much, but we always believe spiritually is higher than physically. When we're saying Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, when that food is being prepared for zikr, for mawlid, for mehfil, for any side of holy association, and the person is preparing the food, he's in wudu, and he's making zikr while he's preparing, everything is beginning with Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Then, especially if it is in the Dergah is not an empty place. There are so many other ones that are circling around. Saints and prophets and angels, they are circling around, and they are touching the food, and you're eating it. And it will send a cure for you, physically and also spiritually. Definitely, it will. But I'm seeing now, Muslims, they don't even know how to eat. MashaAllah, they know tasawwuf. They know fiqh. They know so much. They know how to make comparative fiqh, Maliki and Shafi'i. They know all these kind of things, but they don't know how to eat. How I'm saying they don't know how to eat? They're not saying Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. With every bite, if you're following Ali Tariqat, every bite you're supposed to say that. There is an adab of eating. Because Tariqat is adab now. Tariqat is teaching the adab. It is the spine. It is the essence of Islam. Now, if you are not understanding and catching that adab, catching that essence of Islam, you may have everything, but it doesn't have any spirit. It doesn't have any truth in it. Just outside actions that you have to do. So, in the adab of eating, let me tell you something. MashaAllah. All over the world, everyone is making mehfil of Mawlid al-Nabi, isn't it? Yeah, huh? Serving food. You ever been to any one of these mehfils and see how they eat? Let me be real. You ever see, you know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to say which group, Pakistani or other groups. I'm not going to say. But especially, how? The way that they serve, the way that they eat is not beautiful like Sunnah. Forget about it. Let's put that aside, okay? Because that takes some lifetime maybe to get rid of. But we're looking, they're wasting the food, isn't it? How much food is being, worse than that, they're taking the food left over, they don't feel like finishing it. Forget about making sunnat, wiping all the food and everything with a piece of bread and finishing. Forget about that. They're taking the food, eating a couple of mouthfuls, and I don't like this. They go to a trash can, and they throw away the food inside the trash can, isn't it? You think that time, the mawlid that you're making is going to be so blessed. One hand, you're praising Prophet so much, on the other hand, you're doing completely against to this sunnat. Impossible. That's why we're seeing all these mehfils, all this mawlid and nabi, everything is supposed to make people better. But are people getting better? They are not getting better. Something is wrong. Something is wrong with the faith now. You're praying. You're making fast. You're making salawat and zikr, but you're not getting better. Your manners are not getting better. You're not living the lifestyle of the Prophet. You're not getting better. That means something is wrong. So tariqat will teach you that. Come to the Dergah. We'll teach you a little bit. We learned this from Shaykh Effendi. We're not teachers. We don't teach you anything. I'm not teaching you anything. But we learned from our greatest teacher, Sahib al-Saif, Qadasullah Sir, and he's learning through Sultan al-Awliya, unbroken lineage for 40 grand sheikhs, and teaching us how to sit, how to look at the food. Yes, so many. They are 60 years Muslims, so proud to say. They're eating the food, but if another brother comes with another plate, they look to see. They're eating, but they're looking to see what kind of food others they're having. That is not sunnat. Or I'm seeing also, I'm hearing big sheikhs coming, giving a talk, blah, 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 talking. In front of him, people started bringing the food. He's talking and he's looking at the food. He's looking to see what kind of food is being served. Now, what kind of a person is that who cannot even control his eyes? His words may be speaking the sweetest praises for the Prophet, but actions is going to show. He cannot even control his eyes. Forget about controlling his eyes. That one, knowing that the food is coming, he must not even smell it. He's not interested in it. He's not looking to see what it is. He's saying, okay, there must be a different agenda. But, so, we come to this position of food, how to approach. Yes, it's a good question. How do you eat blessed food? Very good question. Because the food that is prepared for all these mawlids, they are blessed, but people don't know how to eat them. And they're wasting. Wasting it is haram. Especially in these days where there are thousands of people that are starving, you waste, haram. On the one hand, you're making so much salawat. On the other hand, you're making so much gunah. So much wrong things, everything is going to fall. You are zero again. Now, people will argue with me and say, oh, what are we supposed to do then? We have the food, you're telling us not to eat? Of course, you are being very foolish. That's why you're going to say those words. And say, no, take a little. Don't take a lot. Finish your food. You don't like it, finish it. Don't throw it away. At least to eat and to say Alhamdulillah, you're not doing that either. Say Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, Salawat, say Alhamdulillah, and say Astaghfirullah. Alhamdulillah, because Allah has put so much food in front of me and I don't deserve it, because there are thousands, millions of other better Muslims that deserve this than I do, and they are starving right now. And say Astaghfirullah, because I have this and I'm not saying Alhamdulillah enough. The believer must know this. This is basic. But we see either people are so greedy, they want more and more, or they're wasting it. So, there must be a protocol and adab for eating blessed food. Come to the Osmanli Dergah, inshallah. Last question.